It was July 10th, 2024, in Bristol, England. A witness walking by saw a man, 34-year-old Yustin Mosquera, struggling with two massive suitcases. Mosquera was tweaking, looking stressed, and the bags were so heavy he could barely move them. But it wasn't just the weight that caught people's attention. It was the trail of dark liquid he was leaving behind on the pavement. People started looking at each other like, is this actually happening? But wait until you hear what he said when someone tried to help him. A witness on the bridge actually joked with Mosquera, asking him, "Yo, is there a body in there?" thinking it was some kind of weird art project or a prank. Mosquera didn't laugh. He looked at them with dead eyes and shouted in Spanish, "My boss is really bad." The witness noticed the red leak was getting worse. A cyclist nearby realized this wasn't a joke and started filming the encounter on his phone. He was pressing Mosquera for answers, and that's when the situation went from weird to straight-up dangerous. As the cyclist got closer with the camera, Mosquera crashed out. He pushed the cyclist over, abandoned the suitcases right there on the bridge, and bolted into the dark woods nearby. He went ghost in seconds, leaving everyone on the bridge shook. The police were called immediately, and when they arrived, they didn't find clothes or travel gear inside those bags. They found the ultimate nightmare. When the forensic teams opened those suitcases, they confirmed the darkest fears. Inside were the dismembered remains of two men. The scene was so gory that even veteran officers were reportedly rattled. The bridge was shut down, a massive crime scene was established, and the manhunt was on. The receipts led police back to a flat in Shepherd's Bush, London, over 100 miles away. That's where they realized Mosquera wasn't just a killer, he was a lodger who had been living with his victims. The victims were identified as 71-year-old Paul Longworth and 62-year-old Albert Alfonso. These two were a staple in their community, a devoted couple who had been together for over 20 years. Paul was a retired handyman, and Albert was a swimming instructor. They were known for being pure souls who often helped people out. They met Mosquera online and thought they were blessing him by giving him a place to stay while he studied English. They had no idea they were inviting a monster into their safe space. Mosquera wasn't just a random student. He was an adult content creator and an OnlyFans model from Colombia. He had been finessing a living online, and Albert had originally met him on a webcam site back in 2012. Over the years, their transactional relationship turned into what Albert thought was a genuine friendship. In June 2024, Mosquera moved in as a lodger because he was down bad financially. But while the couple was treating him like family, Mosquera was busy running the numbers on their lives. Mosquera wasn't just looking for a room, he was looking for a takeover. Digital forensics later showed that while he was eating dinner with Paul and Albert, he was secretly hacking into their bank accounts. He was researching the value of their London apartment and looking for ways to intercept their wealth. He was moving like a ghost inside their own home, waiting for the perfect glitch in their routine to strike. But the disturbing truth is that he wasn't just planning a robbery, he was planning an execution. This is where it gets diabolical. Before a single drop of blood was spilled, Mosquera went on Facebook Marketplace and bought a large chest freezer. He had it delivered to the apartment while the couple was still alive. Why does a lodger need a massive freezer in a small flat? The answer is terrifying. He was setting up his disposal system in advance. He even searched for how long it takes for a corpse to decompose and how to kill with one blow. This wasn't a crime of passion, it was a calculated mission. On July 8, 2024, Mosquera saw his window. Albert was out of the house teaching swimming lessons, leaving Paul home alone. Mosquera didn't use a gun, he went medieval. He attacked the 71-year-old Paul with a hammer, catching him completely off guard. There was no fair fight. Paul was a senior citizen who trusted Mosquera, and he was taken out in his own living room. But Mosquera didn't run. He stayed in the house and waited for the second victim to pull up. When Albert Alfonso walked through the door later that day, he had no idea his partner of 20 years was already gone. Mosquera faked normalcy, greeting Albert as if nothing had happened. But here's the most messed up part. Mosquera actually engaged in adult content filming with Albert before the attack. He was performing for the camera while knowing what he was about to do. It was a level of betrayal that is hard to even process. In the camera, it stayed rolling. As they were filming, Mosquera flipped the switch. He pulled a knife and attacked Albert, stabbing him 13 times in a frenzied assault. Because the camera was still on, the entire brutal end was captured on video. The police eventually found this footage, and it became the ultimate receipt that ended Mosquera's chances of ever going free. But what Mosquera did after the lights went out is what proves he was completely unhinged. Most killers would be panicked or trying to clean up, but Mosquera was vibing. The footage showed him dancing and singing in the apartment while the bodies of the men who housed him lay nearby. Detectives called it psychopathic joy. He wasn't remorseful, he was celebrating his win. He spent the next 48 hours dissecting the bodies and trying to fit them into the suitcases he would later carry to the bridge. He was on a mission to erase the evidence, but he made one major mistake. Mosquera knew he couldn't just walk through London with those bags. He hired a red van driver to transport him and his luggage all the way to Bristol. He told the driver he was moving house, and the driver had no reason to suspect anything. They drove for over 2 hours with the remains in the back. Mosquera was acting casual, probably checking his OnlyFans notifications while sitting inches away from his victims. He chose the Clifton Suspension Bridge as the drop zone, but he didn't count on the witnesses. When he finally got to the bridge and started the drop, that's when the cyclists and the walkers pressed him. Mosquera realized the game was up. After he bolted into the woods, the police found his DNA everywhere. They found his digital footprint linked to the OnlyFans account and the Facebook Marketplace purchase of the freezer. He was cornered, but he still tried to make one last run for it. He was spotted at a train station 3 days later, looking like a shell of a man. Armed police swarmed Bristol Temple Mead station after a tip-off. Mosquera was spotted on the platform, and they didn't give him a second to react. He was taken down and cuffed right in front of commuters. The OnlyFans killer was finally in custody. But even after being caught red-handed with video evidence of the murders, Mosquera tried to spin the narrative to save his own skin.
I've got a hand, mate.
Go.
Yeah. I can say the words then. I need secure.
Go.
Stay down, John. Yeah.
Oh my God. What happened?
Secure.
On your side, mate.
What happened?
Move your legs out to the front. Sit up.
At this time, mate, you're under arrest on suspicion of murder. You don't have to say anything, but may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something you later rely in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand?
No. What?
You are currently under arrest for murder, okay?
What's your name, mate?
What?
What's your name? Nombre.
Jot.
Jot?
Yeah.
Jot or Joss?
Jot.
Surname? Jot what?
Jot. Mosquera.
Mosquera?
Yeah.
In the interrogation room, Mosquera tried to claim self-defense. He told police that Albert had attacked him and he was just protecting himself. It was a desperate move to avoid a life sentence. But the prosecutors had the video. They had the search history about decomposition. They had the receipts that showed he bought the freezer before any alleged fight. The self-defense story crumbled in seconds under the weight of the disturbing truth. During the trial in 2025, the jury was shown parts of the video Mosquera filmed. It was so intense that people in the gallery were reportedly visibly shaken. Seeing a man dance after committing a double murder isn't something you forget. The parasite narrative was confirmed. He wanted their money, their home, and their lives. The jury didn't even blink before coming back with a verdict. Yustin Mosquera was found guilty on all counts. The judge didn't show him an ounce of mercy, sentencing him to life in prison with a minimum term of over 40 years. He'll be an old man if he ever sees the sun again. The case rocked the UK and the OnlyFans community, serving as a grim reminder that you never truly know who you are inviting into your inner circle. At the end of the day, Paul and Albert's kindness was their downfall. They saw a young man in need and gave him a home, and he gave them a nightmare. It's a stark warning for the digital age. Sometimes the vibe you get from someone online is just a mask for something predatory. What do you think? Did the OnlyFans model plan this from day one, or did he just snap? Drop your hot takes in the comments. Make sure you smash that sub button for the disturbing truth for more unfiltered receipts. Stay alert and watch your back. Peace.